If you're seeing this right now, it's not an accident. This isn't random. This is your future reaching back, tapping you on the shoulder, saying, "Pay attention." You just passed through the quantum filter, and only 1% recognize this moment for what it really is. A calling, an invitation, a threshold. Here's the filter. Not everyone who clicks stays. Only those who feel something stir inside. A pull, a knowing, a quiet yes, make it through. That's vibrational self-selection. The frequency you're holding right now brought you here. So do this with me. 10 seconds, close your eyes. Notice. Do you feel goosebumps? Expansion in your chest? A sudden stillness in your mind when I say this? You already are the change. Feel it? That's the signal. Now tell me, what brought you here today? One word. Drop it in the comments right now, because by the end of this you'll have a practical protocol to not just recognize the filter, but to walk through it consciously, to read the signs, to align with the quantum field in real time. The quantum filter is the exact moment reality and intention lock eyes and recognize each other. I almost missed mine. 3 years ago, I nearly scrolled past a random video. Something made me stop. 30 days later, my entire path had shifted. That wasn't luck. That was resonance. And today, we're going deep. From the fundamentals to embodiment, from mirrors to timelines, from theory to practice, you can use tomorrow morning. Let's go. You've been taught to push harder, to grind, to muscle your way through walls that won't budge. But here's what they didn't tell you. Reality doesn't respond to brute force. It responds to resonance. What you hold inside, the world mirrors outside. Not sometimes, but always. The field isn't waiting for your effort. It's waiting for your frequency. Think of a radio. You don't force the music to play. You don't shake the device or yell at it. You turn the dial until you hit the station that's already broadcasting. That song was always there, traveling through the air, invisible but real. Your job isn't to create it, it's to tune in. And tuning requires stillness, not strain. Here's the formula that changed everything for me. Emotion plus attention equals your energetic signature. That signature is what the quantum field reads, not your words. Not your vision board, your state. I spent years asking, how do I get this? Until I realized I was asking the wrong question. The real question is, how do I become the frequency that receives this? I'll never forget the week I swapped anxiety for curiosity. I had a project stalled for months. Every morning I'd wake up tight rehearsing failure. Then I made one shift. Instead of gripping, I got curious. What if this is already done and I just can't see it yet? Within 7 days, 3 doors opened. Same project, different signal. The alineamento wasn't in the doing, it was in the being. So here's where we pivot. Stop chasing, start tuning, because the next piece I'm about to share will show you how to stabilize that signal so the static stops drowning out the music. And trust me, what's coming is the part most people skip, and that's exactly why they stay stuck. In 2 minutes, I'll hand you the key that turns knowing into living. Let's make this practical. Right now, your nervous system is either amplifying your signal or scrambling it. And there's one tool that rewires the whole system in under 3 minutes. Coherence breathing. Inhale for 3 counts. Exhale for 6. Do this for 180 seconds, and watch your body shift from fight or flight into coherencia. Your heart rate steadies. Your mind clears. The static fades, and suddenly the quantum field can hear you. I call the next one 2% live. Before any big decision, sending that message, entering that meeting, making that call, pause. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your gaze 2 degrees. Adjust your posture like you've already won. It sounds small, but small shifts in your body create massive shifts in your frequency. You're not faking confidence. You're embodying the state that magnetizes the outcome. Every morning, grab a notebook. Write 3 lines. Line 1. How you feel right now, no filter. Line 2. Who you're choosing to be today. Line 3. One micro action that proves it. That's it. No essay, no perfection, just clarity. Think of it as tuning your internal Wi-Fi. When your heart enters coherence, the signal stabilizes. Everything connects faster. Messages land. Opportunities arrive. Synchronicities multiply. Here's what I did last month. I chose calm as my emotion guide for 72 hours. Not forced calm, embodied calm. Every time I felt urgency creep in, I paused, breathed, and asked, what would calm do right now? I didn't chase 3 clients. I sent one message from that state. 2 of them reached out within 48 hours. Same person, different alineamento. The field doesn't reward hustle, it rewards resonance. So here's your challenge. Pick one emotion. Gratitude, curiosity, peace. Whatever feels true, hold it for 3 days. Let every choice, every breath, every word come from that place. Track the micro-evidence, the texts, the timing, the coincidences. Because what I'm about to show you next will reveal why those coincidences aren't random at all. They're reflections. And once you see how the mirror works, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Life doesn't negotiate with your requests. It doesn't bargain. It doesn't debate. It responds to what you're emitting, not what you're saying, not what you're posting, what you're broadcasting at the deepest level. That's what the quantum field mirrors back. The outside is always a reflection of the inside, and most people spend their entire lives rearranging the furniture in the mirror, wondering why their room never changes. Think about your social media feed for a second. The algorithm doesn't show you random content. It shows you what you've been clicking on, what you linger over, what you engage with. Your emotion works the exact same way. Every feeling is a click. Every repeated thought is a like, a share, a save. And the field? It's the ultimate algorithm. It reads your energetic engagement and serves you more of that frequency. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're the programmer. Let me give you something you can do today. It's called the Mirror of the Day exercise. Tonight, before bed, pick one trigger that got under your skin. A comment someone made. A plan that fell through. A message left unread. Don't judge it. Don't fix it, just map it. Ask yourself, what's the root emotion here? Fear? Unworthiness? Control? Write it down. One sentence. Because that emotion isn't happening to you. It's showing you where your signal is still tuned to static. I had a colleague I clashed with for months. Every conversation felt like walking on glass. Tension, defensiveness, blame. I kept thinking he was the problem. Then one night, I got honest. I realized I was repeating the same internal story before every interaction. He doesn't respect me. That thought was my broadcast, so I changed the script. Before our next meeting, I spent 60 seconds in gratitude. I imagined him as an ally. I didn't fake it. I felt it. We spoke. The entire dynamic shifted. Same person, same room, different resonance. He didn't change. My alignment did, and the mirror reflected it instantly. Here's the reframe that will save you years. Stop asking, why does this always happen to me? Start asking, what in me is this asking me to see? That one shift turns you from a victim into a tuner, from reactive to receptive, from powerless to precise. The moment you own your signal, the reflection changes. Not tomorrow, not next month, in real time. Because the field isn't cruel, it's exact. It doesn't punish you, it reveals you. And when you start treating your outer world like feedback instead of judgment, everything becomes information. Every block becomes a map. And here's where it gets wild. Once you understand the mirror, you start noticing something even deeper. The mirror doesn't move first. It waits. It watches. It reflects. And the next principle I'm about to hand you is the most counterintuitive truth you'll hear today. Most people spend their whole lives waiting for the world to smile at them before they smile back. But that's not how coherence works. That's not how the quantum field operates. What's coming next will flip your entire approach upside down. And I promise, once you get this, you'll stop waiting for permission to become the version of you that already exists. Here's the line that changed my entire life. The mirror doesn't smile first. You smile. Read that again. The world isn't going to hand you evidence before you step into the state. It doesn't work that way. You don't wait for the promotion to feel abundant. You don't wait for the relationship to feel worthy. You don't wait for the bank account to feel secure. You generate the frequency first and the reflection follows. Always. Try this right now. It takes 60 seconds. Before you walk into your next meeting, your next conversation, your next Zoom call, pause, straighten your spine, soften your shoulders, take 3 deep breaths, put a micro smile on your face, not a fake grin, a gentle, internal, I'm good signal. Then walk in. Watch how people respond. Watch how the energy shifts. You didn't change the room. You changed your resonance. And the room reflected it back instantly. I'll give you a wild example. I had an email sitting unanswered for 2 months. 2 months. I'd sent follow-ups, tweaked the subject line, rewritten the pitch. Nothing. Then one morning, instead of sending it from frustration, I sat down and spent 90 seconds in gratitude. I imagined the reply already in my inbox. I felt the relief, the excitement, the alignment. I hit send from that place. 24 hours later, the response came. Same email, same person, different state. The quantum field doesn't read your words, it reads your signal. Think of it like ordering coffee. You walk up to the counter. You say what you want with clarity. You wait. You don't jump behind the bar and try to make it yourself. You don't beg the barista. You don't check every 30 seconds. You place the order, step back, and trust the process. That's how intention works. Clear request, aligned state. Then you let the field do its job. Forcing is proof you don't believe it's already done. And that's the secret most people miss. Intention without alignment is just noise. But intention plus embodied state? That's the formula. That's the activation code. And what I'm about to show you next takes this even deeper, because the field doesn't just respond to your state. It responds to your relationship with time. And once you understand quantum time, you'll stop waiting for someday and start collapsing timelines. What's coming will blow your mind. Stay with me. Let's talk about time, not clock time, not calendar time, quantum time. Because here's what they don't teach you. The quantum field doesn't measure in hours or days. It measures in coherence. You can spend 5 years spinning in doubt and get nowhere. Or you can spend 5 seconds in total alignment and shift your entire trajectory. Time isn't linear when you're working with frequency. It's responsive. It bends. It collapses. And the moment you understand this, you stop being a prisoner of someday and start becoming the architect of now. Think of it like editing a video. You've got multiple versions of the same project sitting in your timeline. One version is safe. One is bold. One is halfway. One is brilliant. They all exist simultaneously in the software, but only one plays when you hit export. Your choices, the micro decisions you make every single day, are you clicking which version goes live? That 5-second decision to send the message or delete it? That's not small. That's you selecting a timeline. That's you activating a frequency that pulls a different reality into form. I'll never forget the yes that changed everything. I was invited to collaborate on a project that felt too big, too fast, too risky. My first instinct was to say, let me think about it. But something in me shifted. I paused. I breathed. And in 15 seconds, I said yes from my gut, not my fear. That one choice opened a door I didn't even know existed. New people. New opportunities. A completely different path. Same day. Same me. Different alignment. I didn't wait for readiness. I chose the timeline where I was already ready. Here's what I want you to try tonight. It's called the future rehearsal. Set a timer for 90 seconds. Close your eyes. Pick one thing you're calling in. A conversation, an opportunity, a shift. Now live it. Not as a wish, as a memory. Feel the handshake. Hear the laughter. Smell the coffee in that meeting. Taste the relief in your chest. Make it so real your body can't tell the difference between imagination and experience. Because your nervous system doesn't know the gap. When you embody the future, you collapse the distance. You stop waiting for it to arrive. You become the resonance that magnetizes it here. Most people think manifestation is about waiting. It's not. It's about micro-teleportation. Every choice you make is a 5-second jump to a parallel version of your day. The walk you took instead of scrolling. The call you made instead of avoiding. The boundary you held instead of bending. Those aren't little things. Those are portals. And every time you choose coherence over comfort, you're not just changing your day, you're changing your timeline. And what I'm about to show you next is the ingredient most people forget. The one that makes or breaks everything. Because knowing how to tune, how to align, how to choose, none of it matters if you don't have this one thing. The secret isn't in the doing, it's in the trusting. And trust? That's where the magic lives. Keep going. You're about to see why patience isn't passive, it's the most powerful frequency you can hold. Here's the metaphor that will save your sanity. You don't dig up the seed every day to check if it's growing. You plant it, you water it, you trust it, and you let the earth do what the earth does. Confidence isn't passive. Trust isn't lazy. They're both active forces. They're frequencies. And when you hold them, you're not doing nothing. You're doing everything. You're sustaining the coherence that allows the invisible work to happen beneath the surface. Think about audio delay. You speak into the mic. The sound travels. There's a gap before you hear it back. That silence between emission and return? That's not proof the signal failed. That's proof it's traveling. Most people panic in the delay. They assume silence means no. They dig up the seed. They change the station mid-song. They abandon the alignment 3 inches before the breakthrough. And the field can't deliver what you won't stay steady enough to receive. So let's build a cultivation routine. Every morning, you water the seed. That's your practice plus your emotion. That's your 3 minutes of coherence breathing. That's your gratitude. That's your embodied rehearsal. The sun? That's your vision, the clarity of what you're calling in. And the soil? That's your environment, the people you're around, the content you consume, the habits that either feed the root or poison it. You don't need to see the sprout to know it's working. You need to stay consistent with the conditions. And here's how you know it's germinating. Micro-coincidences. Not the full harvest, not the end result. The text that arrives at the exact moment you were thinking of someone. The book recommendation that answers the question you asked in your journal that morning. The random encounter that opens a side door. Those aren't accidents. Those are signals. The quantum field is winking at you saying, I'm here, keep going, you're closer than you think. Don't dismiss the small. The small is the proof. I almost quit once. 48 hours before everything shifted, I was ready to walk away from a project I'd been holding for months. Nothing was moving. No evidence, no response. I felt foolish, but something told me to give it 2 more days. 2. And on the second day, the message came. The door opened. The thing I'd been cultivating in silence finally broke through the soil. I was centimeters away from the sprout and I almost torched the whole garden. Don't do that. Don't abandon the frequency right before it becomes form. The delay isn't denial, it's delivery in motion. And now that you have all 6 pieces, the tuning, the embodiment, the mirror, the smile, the timeline, and the trust, you're not just ready. You're activated, you're awake, and you're about to step into a version of reality most people will never access. So the question is, are you going to stay here? Are you going to hold this resonance? Because everything you've been calling in is already on its way, and it's waiting for you to stop digging up the seed. Here's the final shift. You're not seeking approval from the quantum field. You are the one approving the frequency. You're not waiting for permission. You're granting it. Every breath, every choice, every micro-decision is a vote for the timeline you're activating right now. Let's connect the dots. You learned the fundamentals. Reality responds to resonance, not force. You practiced embodiment, coherence breathing, the 2% shift, the state before the action. You saw the mirror. The outer world reflects your inner broadcast. You proved it. The mirror doesn't smile first. You do. You collapsed time, 5-second choices that teleport you between timelines, and you planted the seed. Trust isn't passive. It's the most active alignment you can hold. So here's your new identity. I pass through the filter when I treat each decision as a vote in the timeline I choose. Say it. Feel it. Live it. Now do this. Drop a comment below and write, I passed through the filter. Then share one synchronicity, one sign, one micro coincidence you've noticed recently. Let's activate this field together. If this resonated, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notifications because the daily practice protocol is coming and you don't want to miss it. And right now, go watch the next video. If you're seeing this, your old frequency collapses now. Don't skip. Your timeline is waiting.